say. I'd like to be a better person. I would. I'd like to be a better person. And I think I'm getting worse as a person. Because as you get older, you start finding out, like, let me give you an example before I rented a car a couple weeks ago in Los Angeles, had the car for a few days, and then when I went home, I had to drop the car at the rental place. You know, you gotta go to the rental place that's off the airport, give them the car, give them your thing with the mileage, you gotta get on a bus, and then go to your terminal and check in. I was late, and I was worried about missing my flight, so I knew I had no time to do any of that. So I never did this before, I just drove my car right to the terminal, and just left it there. And I got on the plane. And once I was on the plane and I had a little moment, I called Hertz and I said, hey, listen, your car is sitting out in front of Terminal 4 and the keys are in it. So that's where it is. And the guy was like, you can't do that. You have to return it to this location and then and I go, well, I didn't do that already. And now I'm leaving California. So if you want your car, you need to go to that place where it is. And he was like, oh, Jesus, man. All right, we'll get it. And that was the end of it. And I realized I could do this every time. Every time I rent a car, because of course they want you to do all that shit. But if you don't, they still want the car back. They're gonna send a dude. You could drive a car till you don't want it, just get out of it while it's moving and just walk away. Well, I don't feel like being in that car any longer. Just call Hertz, hi, your car is drifting into the intersection of 28th and Broadway. If you're interested, it's now your problem. But see, this is a terrible realization. Because you should act in a way that if everybody acted that way, things would work out. You should, because it would be mayhem if everybody was like that. And most people kind of don't care. Most people are very selfish. Most people don't give a shit what happens as long as they get to do their favorite thing. People don't even want to back off from their favorite thing. They won't even do their second favorite thing. Like, you ever seen somebody like they're at an intersection and they want to make a left, but they're in the all the way right lane because they messed up. So now okay, here's the guy. He's in the right lane, and there's a lot of cars, like 6th Avenue, like a lot of cars, and he wants to make that left. So what does he do? He just does it anyway. He just goes ahead and he just shoves his car through everybody's life without any... And everybody's honking and outraged, and you always see the guy go, I have to. There's no other possible thing I could do. What else could I do except go up one more block and then go left and take 4 seconds? That's not my favorite way, though. That only meets 99% of my criteria. But I'm selfish. I would like to be a better person because I got kids and I want to, pass on a better, but sometimes it's not clear what the right thing is to do. Like one time I threw a candy wrapper on the street and I didn't do it like, yeah. I just, yeah, take that shit straight. I did it because I was, like shaking. I wanted the candy. Anyway, I was with a friend who said to me, you just littered on the street. Don't you care about the environment? And I thought about it and I said, you know what? This isn't the environment. This is New York City. This is not the environment. This is where people live. New York City is not the environment. New York City is a giant piece of litter. It's like the giantest, next to Mexico City, the shittiest piece of litter in the world. Just a pussy, runny, smoking, stinking piece of litter. So if you have a piece of litter, what are you supposed to do with it? You should throw it on the pile of litter. Because if you don't, if you put it in a receptacle, then it gets collected and it gets taken to a dump in a landfill, and then or it goes on a boat and it goes out and gets dumped in the ocean, and some dolphin wears it as a hat on its face. for 10 years, this hat that never dissolves on its face. Oh. Jesus. I mean, everything that we introduce to the world is shitty. Meaning white people. Because I really think that white people are from like another planet. Because when we came to America, it was so nice. It was just Indians, and they weren't even Indians. We called them that by accident, and we still call them that. Like we knew in a month that it wasn't Indians, but we just don't give a shit. We never correct it. We came here, and they were like, hi, and we're like, hey, you're Indians, right? And they're like, no. No, this is India, right? No, it's not. It's totally other place. You're not Indians? No. Ah, you're Indians. You're Indians for hundreds of years after. We ruined everything here. This was it was just coast to coast, just green and brown and beautiful. And all the humans were just walking around with painted faces, just walking, and they'd be like, ooh, that looks yummy, and then they just eat from the ground, and then they'd sleep on the grass, and they'd wake up and they'd fuck, and then they'd go for a swim and do a little dance. That was the whole continent, was just folks doing that. I mean, there was people in Mexico cutting off kids' heads and rolling them down the pyramid stairs. But that's always going on. What are you gonna, you can't do a whole lot about that. But I think we came from another planet, and the reason is because we don't like it here. I mean, why, if we're from here, if we belong on Earth, why aren't we comfortable on Earth at all? We need nice, smooth surfaces and right angles, and we need it to be cool and not too hot, just a little, that's just perfect. Like, why wouldn't, when it's hot, why wouldn't we just, yeah, fuck it? Why wouldn't we be like that if we belong here? And it's weird because people that aren't, whatever you call there's environmentalists, and then there's people who are whatever, they just hate environmentalists. But that's what people get angry at environmentalists, because they think they're slowing down the economy and creating restrictions. And a lot of these people are Christian. A lot of these people are very devout Christians. And that's such a confusing thing to me, that if you believe that God gave you the earth, that God created the earth for you, why would you not have to look after it? Why would you not think that when he came back, he wouldn't go, what the fuck did you do? I gave this to you, motherfucker. Are you crazy? The polar bears are brown. What did you do to the polar bears? Did you shit all over every polar bear? Who did this? Who spilled this shit? Who spilled this? Come over. Did you fucking spill this? What is that? It's oil. It's just some oil. I didn't mean to spill. Well, why did you take it out of the fucking ground? Because I wanted to go faster. I'm not fast enough. And I was cold. What the fuck do you mean cold? I gave you everything you needed, you piece of shit. Well, because jobs. What is a job? Explain to me, what's a fucking job? You work at a place, and when people call when their game doesn't work, and you help them figure it out. What do you do that for? For money. What do you need money for? Food. Just eat the shit on the floor. I left shit all over the floor. Fucking corn and wheat and shit. Grab it up, make some bread. What are you doing? Yeah, but it doesn't have like bacon around it, and like I like when it has like bacon on it and 1994. I went to Russia, and it had just become Russia again. It was the Soviet Union until really that year, everything started to crash down. And at the time, I was a writer for the Conan O'Brien show, and I had written there for 2 years, and I was burnt out, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I went to the head writer, and I said, I have to quit because I think I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. And he said, take 2 weeks off, and we'll pay you for the 2 weeks. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I had nowhere to go, and I thought, maybe I'll go to Russia. I really don't know why. I can't really explain any decisions I made then. Because I have children now, so you don't have to search when you have children. You're not like, oh, what could I do to enhance my life? You're just sort of compelled to do whatever comes at you at a certain age in life. But I was in my 20s, I had no wife, nothing, I had no girlfriend even. I just was this guy, and I had money from a TV job, and so I just said, I'm going to go to Russia, because when I was a kid, I used to read Russian novels, and I loved them, and I would open all the windows so I would be cold, and I wanted to be cold like they were. So I just decided I'm going to go. And also somebody told me that the wall had just come down in the Soviet Union, and that Russia was a really crazy place at the time. So I said, I'm going to go there. I speak no Russian. I can't even look at the alphabet and understand what I'm looking at. There's no place more foreign to me than Russia. So I went. I went to Moscow, which is, when you land in Moscow, it's just forest, and there's a city in the middle of just forest. It's terrifying. And as the plane goes down, you're like, no, I didn't want to really do this. And the whole time there, I couldn't fend for myself. It was already a country that was just broken in pieces. And the weirdest things happened to me there, and they just became normal after a while. Like I was in a restaurant, and a waiter came up to me, not my waiter, and he said, Coca-Cola? And I said, uh-huh. He said, Coca-Cola, and I said, sure. I don't drink Coca-Cola, but I had learned by that point to just do what they're asking you to do. Sure. So he went to the kitchen and he got a Coke in a can, and he handed it to me, and he said, $5, because only dollars were worth anything there. And I said, okay, on my bill. He said, no, $5, me now. So I gave him $5, and he put on his coat and he left. He just sold me a Coke on the side and then quit his job. So those are the kind of confusing moments I was having there. And I couldn't talk to anybody, and I was so lonely. It's difficult. I mean, I was alone, and I just sit in the room and go, okay, that was a really fucked up day. I hated that day. And I tried to watch television, and the TV was American shows like Dynasty. And the way they translate, they didn't have, what they did was the sound is a little down, and there's just one man saying all of the dialogue over the whole show. I was there for 2 weeks, and it just was crushingly, I had made no contact with anyone. And then one day I went into the subway. Now, if you've never been to Moscow, the one thing I learned there is that, well, the streets are very, I can't gesture with this thing. It's beautiful, but I can't keep punching you in the face with a big white fist. Okay. The streets in Moscow during the Cold War, they were made wider so that they could have missiles go down the middle of the street for the parades. And if you go there, you'll find out, if you go behind the big buildings, they actually tore the buildings off of their foundations and dragged them back. And a lot of the bigger buildings in Moscow, in the back, they're being held up by like bricks. It's really unnerving how unsafe the whole city is. So the streets are very wide, and you can't cross the street on a green light. You'll never make it. So they made tunnels so you can go under, and those are connected to the subway. And the subway in Moscow, you go down in an escalator and you keep going until you think, it just keeps going. Like, this is so deep, this is really upsetting. But anyway, everyone hangs out in these tunnels. I went in the middle of December. I went to Russia in the middle of December alone. And I'm standing in the subway and I'm watching a violin player. And the one thing about Russia still today, I think, is that no one has any money. So when you see a guy playing the violin in the subway, he's like the first chair violin for like the Russian symphony orchestra, because that doesn't pay shit, and at least he can get a few kopecks in the subway. So I'm watching him, and these other people are sitting on the floor, and we're crying. Everybody's crying. Everybody. It's just normal. People are just watching, just wiping away tears. And there's a young fella sitting here, and he looked my age. I was 25 at the time. He looked about 25, and he was tattered and just watching this violin player. And then this group of kids walked by, about 8 children, ranging from 5 to 10 years old, and their faces were dirty, like in Oliver Twist, like they were in a play, like they had rubbed dirt on their face. And they're all wearing men's coats that they're wearing as from the neck down to the floor, and none of them have sleeves, their hands in their sleeves. Their sleeves are just flopping. They were like street urchin kids. And the coats, it just looked like these men's coats. And you kind of knew all the men who owned those coats are dead. And at least one of these kids killed those guys. Like, I swear I looked at an 8-year-old's face and thought, he has murdered. And that's what they looked like, just tough little kids. And I'd seen them before in Moscow. They work in groups. The guy sitting below me that I identified with called out to the head kid in the front. I don't speak Russian, so I just knew he was going, he's appealing to him. He needed something. And the kid with his hands in his sleeve looked at him suspiciously and said, like, what the fuck, why, what do you want from me? And the guy went, explaining himself, and he showed that his shoe had come apart. And he showed that his shoe was like a flap, and he showed the kid, and he showed him his shoe, and the kid shrugged and said, like, okay. And the kid's hand appeared from out of the sleeve, and there was a tube of shoe glue in his hand. He didn't rummage for it, it was already there. And he handed it to the guy, and the guy fixed his shoe with the glue, gave it back and just and then the kid from he took his other hand had a paper bag, and he put the glue in, and he huffed it, and his eyes rolled back, and he got high. And then the group kept going, and I couldn't believe what I just saw. That the misery in this country at that time was so calculable and so predictable that this guy thought, my shoe's broken. Oh, there's a child. He's sure to have some glue in his hand because the state of our nation is so wretched. And I looked, and he looked at me, and I was startled, and then he laughed, and I laughed. And he's the only person I had any contact with in the whole of the Soviet Union. And I realized this is why I came here, to find out how bad life gets, and that when it's this bad, it's still fucking funny. That's all I got. Thank you.
Another time I was on a subway, and this woman got on the train, young woman, and she got, you can tell how long people have been in New York by how they get on the subway, because people that live here just get on like, ugh. But she got on like this, like, it was pretty bad last time. I hope I don't hope nobody pisses in my face today. Last time, 14 people pissed right into my mouth. That was really traumatic for me, but I'm hanging in there. Still taking the train.
I feel bad, I'm like that way as a father, too. Like, I have 2 kids, and I have a responsibility to stay in shape so I can take care of them, but I don't. I'm always in a 48-hour window of diarrhea. Either that I had it or I'll be having it within 48 hours of any given moment. There's always 2 diarrheas running up. along the slide of my life, and I'm in somewhere. And depending on where in that window I am dictates how much of a radius from my home I'm willing to venture. Otherwise, I'm having diarrhea in a public restroom with my kids standing there watching me because they're little. I can't leave them out in a place. Daddy, I don't want you to have diarrhea. Sorry, honey, you want to go to the aquarium. That's what happens. I told you, let's go to the deli and buy a Daily News and go home, but you want to get all fancy and go to the aquarium, so you gotta watch Daddy shit water out of his asshole.
I was hanging out with a couple that I know, and they're married. They're 43 like me, and they're married. That's pretty much, once you're 43, you're either married, you're divorced. You don't really, after 43, the window's closed. You're staying. And it's true. That's what. All right, nobody cares that you're relating to this. Shut up. It's not interesting or important. I don't care. I get it. You're all well dressed. You all work together. No, you're not gonna get the focus of the show. You're just not. Just shut up. No one's gonna want to watch a TV show about that I talked to some guy all his friends took him out and come on. No, shut up. I'd rather there was an empty table here, and there will be if you don't shut up. All right. So anyway, I was reading to my kids the other night. We have a rule that if they get their teeth brushed and their goddamn pajamas on by 7:30, I'll read a book. Those are the rules. I'm always glad when they get ready because I like to read to them. I do. I love reading to my girls. So we read a book the other night. We were reading Tom Sawyer. I'm reading them Tom Sawyer because Mark Twain, great author, and they're 5 and 9 years old. They're young for it, but they catch up to it, and they're fascinated by all the language. He uses big words and beautiful writer. And I picked Tom Sawyer, not Huckleberry Finn, because Tom Sawyer is a nice kid. Goes to school, he goes to church, lives with his aunt. Now, Huckleberry Finn is a dirty little homeless little white trash creep. And the main problem is that he won't stop saying nigger. I mean, 40 times a page. I can't sit on my daughter's bed and just say nigger all night and then put her to sleep. I just ain't gonna do that. Anyway, I'm reading him Tom Sawyer, and it's a real nice book, but then all of a sudden he runs into Huckleberry Finn on the street. And then Tom saw his friend Huck Finn. I'm like, oh, God, okay. All right, let's take it easy here, fellas. Let's just have a nice, quiet conversation here. Let's see how this goes. Huckleberry Finn was carrying a dead cat. It's not a good sign. He's walking around with a dead cat. Tom Sawyer says, what you doing with a dead cat, Huck? Huck Finn says, gonna cure my warts. All right. My kids are fascinated. Who told you could cure warts with a dead cat? Well, Tom Wilson did it. He learned it from Jack Johnson, who learned it from some nigger down the street. Oh, God. All right, girls, listen. Here's the thing. America... People would say this word, and it's not a good word, and I don't know why. I'm sounding like Bill Cosby right now. But people used to say this word, and this is not a nice word to say. And so we remembered. I told the girls, these boys are racists. These boys are racists, and they're not nice boys. I think we can still enjoy the stories about the fishing and the trading, and it's weird, man. There's that's part of our history, and we have to know it's there. And how do you cope with shit in your past that's bad? Like, how do you try to feel like a good country when you've done shitty things as an entire nation? How do you take your past and still feel good? When I was 8 years old, I showed my penis to a girl with Down syndrome that lived down the street. And I got to walk around living with that every day. gotta wake up as that guy. I was 8. If I did it yesterday, it would be considered a lot worse. But I'm still the dude that did that. I was just a kid, but this is still the penis that I showed to the girl with Down syndrome by the dumpster behind Kentucky Fried Chicken. That happened. Those were my values at 8 years old. And I know that's an awkward thing to equate to slavery in America, but it's kind of the same thing. My favorite thing to do is sleep now. I love sleep. Sleep is like, that's my thing. I love it. And my kids don't let me. They get me up at 6 in the morning. I don't have to get up till like 7 a.m. to get them to school. They wake up at 6. I don't even understand this shit. With the getting out of bed before you have to. They wake up and they're like, they're so excited and they want it. I get it. They want to share it with me. Daddy, look, it's all still here. That hurts my brain. Because it's 6 a.m. I'm just, I'm so deep in the deep African sleep. Like it's just a ancient, mysterious, submerged in a river of warm chocolate, just. And sleep was like a goddess whore just sucking me off, just. She's got a gold helmet and 40 tongues, and she's. And she's speaking in a dead language. And she's feeding syrupy heroin into my penis while she's sucking. Let this be my life, please. Let this be real. Let this be real. Daddy, no. Oh, shit. Daddy, wake up. I've always eaten wrong. I never knew that food is a benefit to your body. I never looked at it that way. I always looked at food as another awful thing I'm about to do. Oh, God, I'm going to have one of those. I never realized that food is supposed to be good. It's supposed to make you feel good. You should eat like a little piece of salmon this big, and then you're like, oh, shit, look at what I can do. That's supposed to be the effect of food. You're not supposed to just push more and more shit in. So you're like, oh, God. Oh. You're not supposed to have to cancel shit because of something you ate. That's not the desired effect of food. You eat a little piece of lettuce, and the guy in your belly catches it. This is amazing. I can make skin cells and blood cells and some energy. The guy in my belly hates me. He gets my third donut. He's like, what do you think? Come on, man. What do you imagine I'm doing with those? I can't. There's no part of you I can make out of donuts. It's just a storage issue. I got nowhere to put it. 4. He's eating 4 donuts. It's 10 o'clock. Oh, and he's jacking off now. Come on, man. Get a grip. Just stop. And the other guy's like, what do you want to do with the donuts? Just shit them out. Shit all of them out, whole. Let him find 4 whole donuts in the toilet. Let's see if that slows him down. Oh my God. I just shat 4 perfect donuts. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I have some notes I'm going to be working off of. I hope that's okay with you. I never stopped anything so cold in all my life. That was amazing. You guys were clapping so much. And now you look like you've never clapped in your lives. That applause is so far in the rearview mirror right now. That's amazing. How quickly. Yeah! There was a girl once who blew me.
who subsequently hung herself to death. It's true. She didn't do it right after, just so you know. She didn't do it like immediately after. She did it 2 years later. Because that's how long it takes. That's how long you can live with having blown me. Before you need to end your life. That's how long everyone who has blown me has died 2 years later of their own doing. That's the gestation period for suicidal shame that comes from having had my penis in your mouth. That's such an awful way to describe blowing somebody, having had my penis in your mouth. It just gives you an image of somebody, oh, I got some. Oh, I got this dick in my mouth. Do I still have his, do you see his dick there? Oh, shit, yeah, you got his dick. I was on an airplane and there was a Hasidic Jewish man trying to put an enormous bag under the seat. It doesn't matter that he was Hasidic, but it's a detail. It's detail. When you try to put enormous bags under seats, folks notice the kind of person you are. They make note. They say some Chinese guy, whatever you are, they're going to describe you. They're not just going to say, a man put a little giant thing under his seat. What kind of man? It's not important. Just a fellow. No, this guy. Trying to shove this thing under the seat. No one can leave because he's not going to not do it. And the flight attendant was a guy, and I'm not going to say he was gay because that's not important. It doesn't enter into the story. I'm going to call the Jewish guy a Jewish guy, and I'm going to call the gay guy just some guy. How do you like that? Isn't that unfair? I'm not going to identify him as gay, because I don't want to discredit them. Actually, he didn't do anything wrong. So, boy, what a disaster this is right now. Jewish guy trying to put the thing under the seat, and the guy's going, sir, it's not going to fit. He was only slightly gay, like that. He wasn't like, sir, it's not going to fit. Ah! No, he just said, sir, it's not going to fit. It's going to fit. I know it's going to fit. It's going to fit. I'm telling you. Moses. When I was about 6 years old, maybe, I stayed home from school one day. I had a single mom, and she worked. So when I stayed home from school, I just got to be alone in my house. And so one day I was alone in my house watching TV. I think I was about 6 years old, maybe 7. And I went and got my pillow from my bed, and I sat on it, and I farted into it. And then I decided, I was sick in my stomach, so I was like, I'm just going to fart into this pillow for just all day. I mean, I just kept farting into that pillow just over and over again. Like at least more than 200 times. Just for hours. And then I told myself, I'm going to smell this now. Because I've been farting into it all day. And I had the pillow and I just said, I'm just going to go all at once. And I just shoved it on my face and I went, and I have never had an experience like that again in my life. I really feel like I overstimulated myself at 6 years old because it like jaded me for every other thing that's ever happened. I watched a bum eat a rat. And I was like, so? I smelled 200 farts when I was 6. A little too proud. You ever get too proud of yourself for just not being a piece of shit? If you see somebody in a store who's got a thing, whatever it is, there's not supposed to be any negative version of anything for anybody. They had a creative amount of limbs. And you saw them and you just scanned the room. You didn't go, boo! You just kept going. You just kept, that's them, and you just went, you didn't go, ah! You just kept going. And then you're like excited, like, oh, I am an angel. Oh. There should be a statue of me in this spot, letting that person have the same just regular day that I had.
When I graduated high school, all my friends went to college, and I didn't. I was a very bad student, and I could have gotten into some college, but why keep failing? Why just keep being in trouble all the time and doing things badly? So I just figured I'll just go work, do things. So I moved in with my only friend who I wasn't very good friends with, but he also didn't go to college. So we got an apartment in Boston. And so we're both 18 years old, living in downtown Boston. And we lived in one room. We slept in the same room. It was a little tiny studio apartment. And so one time he started making jokes about jerking off. He's like, "Do you jerk off a lot? You know, do you want me to leave the room so you can jerk off?" Like he kept saying that. "Hey man, if you need me to leave so you can jerk off, I'll do that," or whatever. And I was like, "Well, hey, what about when you would jerk off?" And he goes, I don't do that. And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "I never have done it." And I was like, "Are you serious?" I was blown away by this. He said, "I've never done it." He goes, "I kind of wish I could, but I just can't bring myself to do it. This is too weird. Like I get weirded out. I've never done it." And I was like, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, I never jerked off." And he told me that. And that stuck in me for years because I thought there's folks that cannot do it. Because to me, this shit is just a plague. I'll never escape this shit. There's moments I've done this that I really would like to take back. But it's just, sometimes I'm all packed, ready. I got bags of roll, and I go, I gotta sit down and jerk off before I leave the house. It's just a constant insulin injection that I need to get. And I really hate it. I'd love to never have to jerk off. And I've always thought there's something wrong with me, because there's a dude who was pretty normal who just said, "I don't do it." Anyway, I ran into him about 2 years ago, and he said to me, "Remember when we talked about jerking off?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, I don't know why I was like ashamed to talk about it with you, but I was jerking off constantly. So he said, "I've been jerking off since I was 11. And when we lived together, I used to go in the bathroom and jack off all the time, and I was afraid to tell you." And I was like, if I could murder one person, it would be you. If I could kill one guy, it would be you piece of shit.
I heard that ducks have one hole. I don't know if you know that, but ducks have one hole. And they pee out of it, and they shit out of it. They get in it, and they lay eggs out of it. That has got to be one smelly, dirty hole. That hole has got to be a pretty awful place. I feel a little bad for the man duck, because ducks are monogamous. I don't know if you know that, but ducks stay in their relationships forever. And by the time that duck gets to be 48, her husband must be like, "Dude, that shit sucks. I hate it." And then he goes and a swan or something. His wife's like, "What are you blind for?" "She's got an asshole. That's why she's got an asshole." Okay, I got a green head. I don't know what that means. Just somehow they got green heads. They deserve more. Speaking of animal type humor that's not totally finished, I have this joke, like, animals talking to each other type joke, that I don't know how to finish it. I know what's funny about it, but I don't know how to finish it. Basically, it's about a lion who goes up to a giraffe, and he says, "Hey, man, did you see that dude?" And the giraffe's like, "What dude?" And he goes, "He's that dude. He lives by the river in a hut." And the giraffe goes, "What does he look like?" And the lion goes, "He looks like this." And the giraffe's like, "Well, I know a dude that lives by the river, but he doesn't look like that." He goes, "No, that's what he looks like." Ah! The giraffe says, I know a guy, but he looks like this. See, the lion just thinks that people look like that. The lion doesn't get that he makes a person look like that.
by scaring the shit out of him. He just thinks that, hey, that's that dude that's always going, ah! That's what he's like.
I mean, sometimes you see a person on the street who's in a state of life that you couldn't imagine having the courage to live. You ever seen somebody? You ever seen a person and you look at them and you go, I would just kill myself if I woke up like that. I would just kill myself. I don't have the courage. And it's a comment on me, not them. I couldn't live like that. I get to go like this. And if I had to go like this, I'd blow my brains out. I can't do it. I have only the courage for a perfect life. I really do. Anything below perfect, I ain't doing it. I ain't being one of those guys. I don't even want to be cold in the winter. You know when you see somebody, they just have a flannel shirt without a jacket, and they're just being cold and their face is purple in spots? Couldn't do it. I saw an old lady I couldn't be. I was walking behind this lady. This is a weird sentence. I saw an old lady that I couldn't be. I was walking behind her, and she had just a spine that was just dog shit. Her spine sucked ass. I'm saying this as her friend. Her spine sucked dick. She was just one of these people. And she's walking in front of me like this. And she had a collar on her shirt that was very high, and so I couldn't even see her head. Looked like she had no head. Just like this with no head. And I remember, first thing I thought was her doctor's an asshole. Because he could have told her. He could have said to her, listen, just so you know, now that you're like this, if you wear a high collar, it's spooky for people behind you. It's spooky from the back, sad from the front, and kind of funny from the side. Anyway, thanks a lot. Good night. Thank you very much. It's pretty good. And I've wasted a lot of time just being angry at people I don't know. You know, it's amazing how nasty we can get as people, depending on the situation. Like, most people are okay, as long as they're okay. But if you put people in certain contexts, they just change. Like, when I'm in my car, I have a different set of values. I am the worst person I can be when I'm behind the wheel, which is when I'm at my most dangerous. When you're driving, that's when you need to be the most compassionate and responsible of any other time in your life, because you are fucking driving a weapon amongst weapons. And yet it's the worst people get. And I am the worst. One time I was driving, and there was a guy ahead of me, and he kind of, I don't know, he sort of drifted into my lane for a second, and this came out of my mouth. I said, worthless piece of shit. I mean, what an indictment. What kind of a way is that to feel about another human being? Worthless piece of shit. That's somebody's son. And things I've said to other people. I was once driving, some guy in a pickup truck remember even? And I yelled out my window. I said, hey, fuck you! Where outside of a car is that even nearly okay? If you were in an elevator and you were like right next to a person's body and whatever, like he leaned into you a little bit, would you ever turn right to their face and go, hey, fuck you? Worthless piece of shit. No. Literally 0 people would ever do that. But put a couple of pieces of glass and some road between you, there's nothing you would not say to them. I hope you die. I said that to a person. I hope you die. Why? Because you made me go like this for half a second of my life. You tested my reflexes and it worked out fine! So now I hope your kids grow up motherless!
I mean, what am I capable of? I'd like to think that I'm a nice person, but I don't know, man.
I was reading to my kids the other night. We have a rule that if they get their teeth brushed and their goddamn pajamas on by 7:30, I'll read a book. Those are the rules. I'm always glad when they get ready because I like to read to them. I do. I love reading to my girls. So we read a book the other night. We were reading Tom Sawyer. I'm reading them Tom Sawyer because Mark Twain, great author, and they're 5 and 9 years old. They're young for it, but they catch up to it, and they're fascinated by all the language. He uses big words and beautiful writer. And I picked Tom Sawyer, not Huckleberry Finn, because Tom Sawyer is a nice kid. Goes to school, he goes to church, lives with his aunt. Now, Huckleberry Finn is a dirty little homeless little white trash creep. And main problem is that he won't stop saying nigger. I mean, 40 times a page. I can't sit on my daughter's bed and just say nigger all night and then put her to sleep. I just ain't gonna do that. Anyway, I'm reading him Tom Sawyer, and it's a real nice book, but then all of a sudden he runs into Huckleberry Finn on the street. And then Tom saw his friend Huck Finn. I'm like, oh God, okay. All right, let's take it easy here, fellas. Let's just have a nice, quiet conversation here. Let's see how this goes. Huckleberry Finn was carrying a dead cat. It's not a good sign. He's walking around with a dead cat. Tom Sawyer says, what you doing with a dead cat, Huck? Huck Finn says, gonna cure my warts. All right. My kids are fascinated. Who told you could cure warts with a dead cat? Well, Tom Wilson did it. He learned it from Jack Johnson, who learned it from some nigger down the street. Oh, God. All right, girls, listen. Here's the thing. America... People would say this word, and it's not a good word, and I don't know why. I'm sounding like Bill Cosby right now. But people used to say this word, and this is not a nice word to say. And so we remember. I told the girls, you know, these boys are racists. These boys are racists, and they're not nice boys. I think we can still enjoy the stories about the fishing and the trading, and it's weird, man. There's a, you know, that's part of our history, and we have to know it's there. And how do you cope with shit in your past that's bad? Like, how do you try to feel like a good country when you've done shitty things as an entire nation? How do you take your past and still feel good? You know, like when I was 8 years old, I showed my penis to a girl with Down syndrome that lived down the street. And I gotta walk around living with that every day. I gotta wake up as that guy. I was 8. If I did it yesterday, it would be considered a lot worse. But I'm still the dude that did that. I was just a kid, but this is still the penis that I showed to the girl with Down syndrome by the dumpster behind Kentucky Fried Chicken. That happened. Those were my values at 8 years old. And I know that's an awkward thing to equate to slavery in America, but it's kind of the same thing. Because that shit happened here.
It's just the days that you spend with them. That's really the hardest part. It's just every day that you have them is the hardest part of having kids. It's just every day. It's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which, first of all, I'm not that guy. 6 o'clock in the morning. I have blown off entire careers because of one day I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, I'll just not be that then. I have to, first of all, I got to get him dressed. That's number one, because that's the one that people will notice. That's the only one. If that's the only one that I get done, I'll be okay. Cause I can't, if I show up with two naked kids, I'll go to jail. So I have to, but I can not feed them. They're fine. I ate. They're just a little tired. It's fine. And then I got to get them to school, which means walking. The older one goes to kindergarten. It's third grade. Jesus Christ. I just said kindergarten. And she's in third grade. You know what's even worse? She's not. She's in second grade.
Anyway, so yeah, wolves are like dogs.
Yes, thank you for asking.
Every day you spend with your kids is torture. And it's because I love them. If I didn't love them, I wouldn't matter. I just play poker with my friends, come home later, oh, they're dead. But I love them. I wiped my daughter's ass for the last time on May 13th of 2008. And I remember this moment because it was a big moment in my life. Because when you have children, they start as babies and they shit all over the place. But then finally they can use a toilet, but they can't wipe their ass. So you have to wipe their ass. That's the last thing you do for your kid. It's like an intimate bathroom thing, is wipe their ass. And one day it stops. And I remember the day. I said the date, but I don't remember it now because I'm lying. Because I had always wiped her ass all that time, and it's just a thing you do. I didn't even think about it. I said, Daddy, I need a wipe! And then I come in, I'm on the phone, like, yeah, okay. So, anyway, so I wiped her ass one day, and she said, thank you very much, Daddy. And I was like, that was a little too eloquent. A thank you for somebody who I just wiped shit out of her asshole. I want to hear like, thank you, Dada. I don't want to hear like that was very gracious of you, Father. It feels good to laugh at people that aren't doing as well as you. It does. Fuck you, it does. It feels good. It's wrong to do it. It's wrong, but it feels really good. It's also wrong to fuck a chimp. It's wrong. Or is it? I don't know, maybe that's not wrong. What's wrong about fucking a chimp? It's wrong to rape a chimp. That's wrong. It's wrong to rape a chimp. But it's not wrong to fuck a chimp. If you said that it's wrong to fuck a chimp's gonna go, hey man, fuck you, I wanna get laid. Maybe it's wrong to fuck me. Shut up, man. It's fine to fuck a chimp. It's perfectly alright. How do you know if you're raping a chimp, though? How do you know? He could be, like, looking like he's having a good time. It's a he. For me, it's a he. For some reason, I'm not raping or fucking a girl chimp. I'm fucking a guy chimp every time. But, I assume it feels good to fuck a chimp. The only part that would bother you is other people knowing about it. It's true, that's the only part that would take anything out of it for you is, fuck, someone's gonna see me raping this chimp. Otherwise, you don't fucking care. I don't care who you are. You fucking work for Oxfam, you're a great person. If you're alone on this planet for fucking 2 minutes, you're gonna fuck a chimp, you're gonna cook him and eat him afterwards, you're gonna do all that shit. That's exactly what you're gonna do. 2 minutes, that's ridiculous. 2 minutes alone on the planet, you're not even gonna wait to see if people come back, you're just gonna fuck a chimp right away. There's nobody here. How do you even know in 2 minutes you're alone on the planet? You wake up early, you go out, there's nobody out here, I'm gonna fuck a chimp. Everybody's gone, the planet's empty, I'm gonna fuck a chimp. No, it's just wait, a car will go by and you'll get back to normal. Fourth grade, and I was fifth grade maybe, I don't know which one, and I was sitting in a class and eating some snack, and I was sort of just looking off into space, and I had always had big holes in the crotch of my pants, because my mom bought me cheap pants at King's department store.
and they don't even have a changing room. She would just hold it against my waist, and I'd go home and wear them, and they'd split after like 3 days. So I had a big hole, just all fucking hole, and I'm sitting there like this, and I tried to get used to not, whatever. So I'm sitting there like this, and I had an inadvertent and unaware boner at the time. And so it was just pushing my white underwear out, just fucking angry little pin-like boner just sticking out of my pants, like straight out. And Jill Cassavant, who was the fucking coolest, sexiest chick in the class, pointed down at this and went, "Ew!" And I looked up and everyone was going, "Ah!" And pointing at my dick and screaming. And that moment is me. That is who I am. That's how powerful it was. And
how is fatherhood going for you? Enjoying fatherhood?
I do enjoy it. It's difficult. It gets easier, though. It's one of those things that gets easier. I had a dog once, and that doesn't get easier. It doesn't. It's harder having a dog because children develop, and dogs just stay dumb. And they never figure it out. And when you're done, I don't know if you ever had a dog that's had a medical problem, but you can't get their cooperation when you need to help them because you can't say to them, you have this problem, you see.
Yeah.
I had this dog, when I took my dog to the vet the first time, she was, a year old when I adopted her, and the vet told me, don't let your dog eat dark chocolate. I don't know if you know this, but
I've heard this, that
yeah.
Dark chocolate is supposed to be poison to dogs.
It kills them. And vets won't explain it further either. It's like, why does it kill them? Oh, they die. Like, they won't tell you why. Like, what do I do if my dog eats dark chocolate? Watch her die or leave the room. But the vet did tell me there's one thing you can do, which is give your dog hydrogen peroxide. And that foams up in the dog's belly, and then they throw it up with the chocolate. That's what you should know to do that. But you got to do it quickly before they ingest the chocolate. All right, so I come home like 6 months later. Sure enough, my dog ate dark chocolate. I had friends who had stayed over, and they didn't know. They left dark chocolate in low places.
Right.
Which is very popular.
Here's a good place for this.
Yes.
I could put it on this high shelf, but I think not.
They put it way down.
I may be crawling on the floor later.
That's right. And might not need a snack.
So what? So you come
my
home
dog,
and had your dog eaten it?
Eating a whole big bar of
Oh, my
dark
God.
Polish chocolate. The Polish part doesn't matter, but I like saying Polish chocolate. And my dog had chocolate on her face, and I went, "Oh my God!" And she looked at me like, "I was home for an hour alone. What are you gonna, come on?" And I was like, "You're gonna die!" And she's looking at me like, "I don't understand English, but I get that you're upset." And so I'm thinking, I gotta get hydrogen peroxide into this dog, but I don't have any. So I've got to go to the pharmacy, and she needs to come with me because there's no time.
Right.
I'm in New York City, and I put the leash on her. She's like excited. We're going for a walk, and I'm running, and she's like, "This is great for you. You never exercise." And she's just enjoying it. And then we get to the pharmacy, and she's waiting for me when I come out, and I've got a bottle of hydrogen peroxide that I have to make her drink.
Yeah.
Like, take yourself through that. How do you make a dog like you just here, drink this? So I kind of pour a little in her snout, and she goes like that. And so I kind of grab her, and I pour a little more. She goes, "I think I was pretty clear that I didn't like that." Like, she looks at me like she's trying to figure out what's going on here. And so I get my whole body around her. This dog was 70 pounds. She was like an alligator.
Yeah,
and if she didn't want to drink something, she's just thrashing. I'm like, "Drink it!" And at one point, I have her on the end of the leash, and she's looking at me all wet on the face. And she gives me this look like, "I don't know what happened to you, but our thing is over. I'm not into you anymore. I'm a dog." And she starts going, "Arr!" She became completely vicious. She's trying to bite me, and I'm trying to save her life.
Yeah.
So I'm punching her in the face and splashing this stuff. I'm holding her lip open. I'm going, "Do you like that?" Kicking her in the stomach. And I look, and there's hundreds of people on the sidewalk just horrified.
Yeah.
There's cars stopped, and they're honking at me. "Leave her alone! She's gonna die!" I'm like, this is a nightmare. And finally, I got enough up her nose and whatever.
Right.
And she was like, "Dude, just, huh?" And then she, just like a pump, just boop, 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 boop. and just brown foam.
Yeah.
Brown, like she's like another dog is coming out of her. And she made it, but she never liked me after that. She hated me. Because from her point of view, I just went nuts.
You went nuts.
I lost my
For
mind.
no reason. We have to take a commercial break. More with Louis C.K. in just a second. Stick around.